Well, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of News You Can Use Rebooted. Thera Martin here, and I am back in Philadelphia. So glad to be home again and very, very happy to be at LaSalle TV. We are appreciative of this opportunity. Today on the program, in our first segment, we're going to be talking with Reverend Robert Collier Sr. He is the president of the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity, and he's going to bring us up to date on all the good work that the Black clergy is doing in this town. And then when we turn the page, we're going to get an update on COVID and where are we exactly? Do we still need to be wearing face masks? Do we still need to be concerned about immunizations? We'll hear from Dr. Cornelius Pitts, and he is with the Center for Urban Bioethics, which is on the campus of Temple University. Stay with us. We'll be right back. So glad to get this program started. News You Can Use Rebooted. I'm Thera Martin, and my guest right now is Reverend Robert Collier Sr., the president of Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity. Thank you for joining me, Pastor.
Thank you so much for having us. It's an honor to be on this show hosted by someone I admire personally and professionally.
Well, for full transparency's sake, let me say that I am proud and honored to be the volunteer PR person for the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity.
Yeah.
And it is the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity that kept me sane during the height of the pandemic. Because even though I wasn't based in Philadelphia at that time, I was working out in the woods in North Carolina, you all kept giving me things to do that were meaningful and that kept me on track and really kept my mental state together. Because if I didn't have the Black clergy calling me and saying, Thera, we're getting ready to do a Zoom press conference, we're getting ready to do a Zoom update on COVID, we're getting ready to do a Zoom thing on the pandemic, I would not have known what to do with myself. So you all, you just don't know. You kept me going. Thank you.
You were invaluable to us. We're so glad to have you.
Oh, well, thank you, Pastor. Now, for people who don't know the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity, which I can't imagine because you all work so smart and so hard, it's like everybody knows you. But just in case there's some folks who don't know, who is Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity?
The Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity is an organization of clergy who got together in 1981 as a result of a long school district strike in Philadelphia. Our purpose is to be the prophetic voice for Philadelphia, and we have desired to be a holistic organization of people, and I don't know, party. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. We sometimes get a little buzz even when we're in the midst of taping a show and we think we've turned our phone off, and sometimes not.
I turned it off.
Yep, that's all right. That's all right. We'll keep it going anyway, Pastor.
I hate that when people, they always call me when I'm doing
when we're in the middle of something important, right? Like we should have cameras on us all the time so that people can see what we're doing. But that's okay. Just hold on to it. That's okay, Pastor. We'll keep going. So now, Black Clergy is out there. You're doing a lot of important work.
Yes.
You're speaking out on civil rights still.
Right.
Still, we look at the Ron DeSantis situation, the governor of Florida, who was in Philadelphia a week or so ago to receive a big award at the Union League. So you speak out on that. You speak out on education all the time. You speak out on violence,
Right.
Education, so many issues that are important and near and dear to our hearts. So I don't know where you might want to start, maybe with the mayor's race. Not to endorse anybody, because that's not what we're doing, but what is the Black Clergy looking for in Philadelphia's 100th mayor?
The Black Clergy of Philadelphia Vicinity is looking for a mayor who has the heart of the people as the very essence, very center of his administration. Philadelphia, as well as many other cities, has been plagued by pervasive gun violence. We have been plagued by poverty. We need someone who can galvanize the community together to bring about a better quality of life for everyone. We must do something to stop gun violence, but in the interim, we need to sensitize ourselves to the parents and grandparents and relatives of those who have lost loved ones. We need a city administration that will reach out to the victims as well as the perpetrators to bring about a change. The people who have lost loved ones, they need to know that they have a mayor that cares about them, a mayor who's doing all in his or her power to bring about changes in the city. And that's what we're looking for in the mayor's race coming up.
And what about a mayor that will be accessible to community leaders and other respected leaders and civic leaders and all of that? Would you expect a mayor to maybe set aside some time once every other month or once a month to meet with some, grassroots community groups to sort of stay on top of what the concerns are?
Ideally, the mayor should meet at least quarterly. You will not know the pulse of the community unless you talk to the community. He can have all the deputies, he or she can have all the deputies, all the aides that they want, but there's nothing like talking to the people who are boots on the ground, people who are involved in it. You get a sense of what the community is doing. You get a sense of what the administration is doing. It takes the community and the administration working together in order to have an effective administration and move your city forward. We need a mayor that will spend some time with the people of the community.
Okay. Stopping the violence. Like, I know that there's a gazillion organizations and individual people who are passionate about wanting to stop the violence. Black Clergy has been helping to lead the way and trying to come up with ideas and solutions for quite a while. And I think you all have come up with some great solutions. It's getting everybody else to agree to make it work and to push it forward, push the ideas forward. But violence is not the only issue on the plate of Black Clergy. People should understand that. But it is one of your top burner issues, right?
It has been one of our priorities because I took office at the beginning of the pandemic. And at the beginning of the pandemic, that's when all the violence escalated. We've come up with some strategies that we think will work. We have a framework for violence prevention that we think will work. We have a 57-block strategy that will work. What I believe and what the Black Clergy believes will work together, it takes a collaborative effort. All of the organizations who have boots on the ground, everyone has some good ideas, but we got to get together and sit down at a table and figure out what works and what doesn't work. That which doesn't work, we need to stop doing. That which works, we need to galvanize ourselves around it, utilize those strategies, and we can put an end to gun violence. We know that there are a lot of issues involved, and our program is such that we want to touch all of those areas. And so if we touch all those areas, we can bring about the change. We can defeat this gun violence if we just work together, but it takes all of us working together.
And I believe so too. Now, you have a partner in life, your wife, your beautiful wife, Reverend Maxine Collier. She also earned her position as the COO of the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity. I know that you and she and a committee of people have been working smart and hard to prepare for a Black History Month extravaganza at the end of February. What's the date? I know it's going to be at Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church on Cheltenham Avenue, but it's 2800 West Cheltenham Avenue.
Right.
But give us the time and everything.
It's February 26th, February 24th. It's 4 o'clock at Enon Tabernacle Church. Our Black History program, we will concentrate on some Philadelphia historians, people in Philadelphia who have been very personal and been the kind of people that we want to pattern after. And I'm excited about it because we haven't done anything like that. I haven't heard about anybody else.
A play, an original skit?
We have an original play that we're going to present, and we're going to use some of the people who are the people that we're elevating.
Okay.
So it should be interesting.
It's going to be exciting. And just stay tuned to the great programming at LaSalle TV. You'll be hearing more about the wonderful programs that the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity has to offer. We'll be back in a moment.
a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And we're back as we continue with News You Can Use Rebooted here at LaSalle TV. I'm so glad to be back again. Thera Martin here, and we appreciate Professor Tanya Ellis for helping to make this possible for us. She is the executive producer of all of the programs that you see at LaSalle TV, and you can check them out on Comcast Channel 56 and on Verizon Channel 36 and see the great programming that they have to offer. We've got Reverend Collier here with us. He is the president of Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity, and you all doing great things. Before we went to break, we were teasing a little bit about the Black History program that is coming up in February, the end of February, the last Saturday in February to be exact. It's going to take place at the Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church, where Reverend Waller is the senior pastor. And one of the exciting things that Mrs. Collier told me about the Black History event is that our state's first African-American lieutenant governor is going to be there. Yeah. He's going to be receiving an award?
Yes, it's going to be very exciting. The first Black lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania, Austin Davis, will be there February 26th, Sunday at 4 o'clock at Enon Tabernacle. We're honoring W. Wilson Good as the first Black mayor. We're honoring Sharif Street as the first Black head of the Pennsylvania Democratic Committee. It goes on and on. It's just exciting that we're recognizing folk that we have a relationship with, and it's just good to have a show like this to talk about what we're doing in Black history, because Black history is important for us.
The other important thing that Black Clergy does that I love, you all host health fairs. Now, I know the one health fair that it seems like it's an annual event, correct me if I'm wrong, but every November, right at Thanksgiving, we do a health fair, and you have free turkeys and all that, but you can't get turkey unless you go through that health fair and get some information, get some tests done, some screenings, and what have you. But then beyond that, Black Clergy Health Committee does different kinds of health events throughout the year. I applaud Black Clergy for what you did during, again, the height of the pandemic and trying to encourage people to get vaccinations and all of that. And in our next segment, when I'm joined by Dr. Cornelius Pitts, we're going to get an update on where we are right now with the whole COVID piece. But I just wanted to commend you as the president of Black Clergy for how you galvanized our community, how you didn't give up on trying to educate us through Zoom. We did so many Zoom. I lost count of the Zoom information sessions and whatnot that you had, but you did it and you got it done. And I'm sure that as we go forward, the city of Philadelphia and Vicinity can look forward to more health fairs and other positive programs that Black Clergy has to offer.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, for any clergy member or layperson that would like to become a part of Black Clergy, what steps do they have to take? How can you become a member if you're a pastor or a clergy member?
They can contact us on our Facebook page. They can contact the COO, Reverend Maxine Collier. We'll get them registered, and we'd be happy to welcome into the great work that we're doing. And it takes all of us working together, and we'll welcome anyone who would want to be a part of the Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity. Okay,
and so that's the thing. It's a Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity. It's not just an organization that has this name and you see them 1 or 2 times a year. You all are out all the time doing things, holding press conferences, speaking up and speaking out when you see that something is wrong, but also working every day trying to come up with solutions to make things better for all of us.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I know another one that you all do, and I got to see now, are you continuing it in this new year of 2023? The Friday prayer?
First Friday prayer.
First Friday prayer.
Yeah. We're going to, I don't know about the next administration, but the remainder of my administration, we still going to have First Friday prayer. We believe that prayer changes things. And by us coming together to pray that we can turn this city around. And we're going to continue that because it has worked.
Yes. So now the concept of the First Friday prayer, is that different churches, whatever location your church is, you just 12 noon, you come in your church and you pray, or do you have a location out in the city at City Hall or something like that where people meet you?
The concept was to pray where you are.
Yes.
We have a church on every corner and in the middle of the block. And we feel that if every faith community would come outside of their church, wherever they are, and pray on the first Friday, we could change this whole city. And that's the concept. Sometimes we have combined we have churches that come together, but basically it's wherever your community is. You can come outside of your church, or you can stay inside, but just pray where you are.
Pray where you are.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah. And lastly, a website for Black Clergy of Philadelphia and Vicinity. Can you give me an address for the website?
It's blackclergyphilly.org.
blackclergyphilly.org. Check it out. And a lot of the programs they do, they Facebook Live during their program, so it's great. Thank you for joining us today. We love you.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
All right, and we love your First Lady as well, Reverend Maxine Collier. All right, we're going to come back in a moment, and we're going to talk with Dr. Cornelius Pitts. Stay with us.
Using meth taught me everything about freedom, only not like you think. It taught me how easy it is to lose your freedom, how meth can take control until you find yourself doing whatever meth tells you to do. Before you get there, while you still can, take a stand for yourself. If you feel yourself losing your freedom to meth, ask for help. Accept the help. It's worth it. You have the power to be truly free and be the person you want to be. I know. I'm Jan, and I'm free from meth.
If you or someone you know is struggling with meth, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/meth.
Hello, everybody, and here we go one more time, our last segment for this first edition of News You Can Use Rebooted. I'm back. Glad to be at LaSalle TV. Thera Martin here. And with me, we've got Dr. Cornelius Pitts from the Center for Urban Bioethics on the campus of Temple University, right?
Yes, actually, Temple University Medical School.
Medical School.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are glad to have you today. I know that you're also associated with Miriam Medical Clinics.
I am.
So, like, they have them all over the city or just in certain parts of the city?
So we have them in 3 locations, actually. Our primary location, our headquarters, is actually in South Philadelphia on Tasker Street. We are seeing patients also in North Philadelphia on Spring Garden Street. I don't know if you're familiar with an association called Babashi. And we share space with Babashi. We have a 3rd roving location, if you will, whereby we do vaccinations and other healthcare initiatives at various sites in North Philadelphia using a Temple University van, or when the van isn't available to us, we go from location to location at churches, community-based organizations, and that sort of thing.
So now, we're like in year 3 now of this pandemic situation.
Yes.
I haven't heard anybody yet, from the president to the head of the World Health Organization to the head of the CDC, anybody say the pandemic is over. So until I hear that, it's not over.
It's not over.
But people act like it's over, Doc.
Yes, I think that's because people are people are weary of talking about viruses. We're weary of vaccines. You know, now we have.
Here's my arm. I'm
Yeah, you know,
I want to
and
live.
I wish everyone were doing that, right? So, you know, we're talking about RSV, we're talking about the flu virus, and then that is in addition to COVID-19. So people are weary and people are tired of wearing masks, putting out their arms and so forth and so on. But until the virus goes away, and it's showing no signs of going away, nor are the variants going away, it's still with us.
Okay. So I got my 4th shot at one of your clinics, I guess I want to say about 6 weeks ago now. I mean, your staff was smooth. I didn't even feel it. That was my booster shots I've had. This is my 4th shot. The last 2 were boosters, I guess. Moderna, but it was okay. So what I want to say to our listening or viewing audience is that if you've never taken an immunization at all for COVID, or if you've taken the first shot and you never went back to get any more, I'm not sick, I didn't get sick, I don't need it. My advice, and I'm listening to the doctors, I believe science, I believe the doctors, we still need to protect ourselves.
We do, we do. The variants will continue. We don't want to hear that. That's the bad news. The good news is that as the variants become accessible and transmissible, that we do have the vaccine to protect us. Variants are more transmissible. You'll hear a lot of people who are actually contracting COVID-19. But if you take advantage of the vaccination, then you can stay well protected against severe illness.
Now, I heard that people in my age group, and I'll put my personal business out there. I'm an old lady. I'm 64 years old. God willing, if I live to June, I'll be 65 years old. I'm in that age group of folks that we need to really take this stuff seriously. So what message can you give to our seniors in particular to try to make them understand? If you've got that first immunization shot and you didn't do anything else, you need to come out.
You need to come out. The way the variants work and the way the vaccination works is that over time, the immunization decreases. It wanes. It's like taking a Tylenol tablet. You know, after a while, you have to take another tablet. After 4 hours, the effect goes away. So we've got to add another booster as well. Have to do the same thing with the vaccination. If we don't do that after a certain period of time, we lose immunization and we lose immunity. And so we'll have to boost up, as it were.
Now, those wonderful free tests that the government has sent to us, thank you, Biden administration, and whoever else made it possible, wonderful thing. But I found out recently by listening to my granddaughter, who is a medical student, she said, we were in the basement, and she said, Grandma, are these your tests? They were the free COVID tests. I said, no, they're not mine. And she looked closer. She says, Mom, Grandma, there's a expiration date on these. Says, you better, you better not use these. These are expired. I would never have thought to check that. Like I would have just, oh, I think I need to take a test because I've been coughing. I'm see if I have COVID. And I would have just grabbed it and took the test. But so our viewers need to understand that if you have the COVID test at home, the home test, and you've had it there for months and months and you never used it, check the label.
Check the label for sure. The reagent, the chemical that's used to extract the virus and to provide whether or not you're negative or positive, that reagent has an expiration time. You know, it is like many chemicals. It's like medicine on in your bathroom cabinet. It has an expiration date. Make sure you're careful of checking that date.
Okay. Now, if there were folk watching the show today and you're thinking, wow, we'd like to get Miriam Medical Clinic to maybe swing by our place because we know we've got 30 people who want to get immunized. At least we can guarantee you, Doc, we're going to have 30 people there. How could they make that happen?
So just call us. You know, I can give you our contact information if you'd like to take it. It's 215-644-8745 and make an appointment to talk with either me or with our nurse practitioner, our team lead, and we can make arrangements to come to your facility. There is an additional aspect that we're now opening up our clinics for, and that is doing blood pressure assessments and doing diabetic assessments. Many individuals, having not had these types of screenings, do not know that they are actually hypertensive or that they're diabetic. And so we're trying to make sure that we increase knowledge about those disease states as well, so that we can get undiagnosed people into treatment.
Absolutely. And high blood pressure seems to be one of those health concerns that often are part of our community. And by that, I mean the African American community. High blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes. Why are these illnesses so prevalent in our community? Any answer on that?
Yeah, you know, it's historical. It's historical because of the trauma that our bodies have sustained over years. The trauma that our bodies continue to undergo, which might chemically might induce high blood pressure, might induce diabetes, might induce high cholesterol
Our
levels.
diet.
Our diet is ultimately very important. Whether or not we exercise, whether or not we're able to exercise, those are all factors. At the core of all of this is our lifestyle, ways that we, behaviors that we might engage in. And this applies to all races, to all ethnicities, whether or not we smoke, whether or not we consume excessively alcohol beverages.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it from the doctor. We've got to try to live healthier. We got to be wise about what we eat. We need to exercise, but we also need to wear those face masks when we are in closed settings and we're around a bunch of people. I don't know if you are immunized or not. I'm wearing my face mask. I'm at the supermarket, the pharmacy, places like that. I'm still rocking my face mask, and I won't have it on when I'm outside. But inside, Doc, oh yeah, you will still see me in that face mask.
You need to have that.
We thank God for doctors like you who are continuing to spread the word and to try to encourage people to get immunized, to be safe and to be healthy. Thank you for joining us.
So glad to be here.
All right. We are glad to have you, and that wraps it up for this edition of News You Can Use Rebooted. Have a great day, everybody.